Good morning, esteemed guests and colleagues. It is with great enthusiasm that I extend a warm welcoming to each of you today. This event today is dedicated to strengthening international cooperation in the field of cybersecurity. My name is Daiva Kirkilaitė-Šetkuti, serving as the business lead at the Lithuanian Embassy in France. And it's my honor to guide you through today's session as your moderator. In the forthcoming hour, we will embark on the comprehensive exploration of cybersecurity collaboration, enriched by the perspectives of leading experts in the field. Our agenda promises engaging presentations and discussions designed to unveil new avenues for Lithuanian entities within the vast expanse of the global cybersecurity landscape. We invite all participants to actively engage, particularly during our questions and answers segments following each presentation. Your inquiries are not just welcome, they are essential for deepening our collective insights and enhancing the discourse of the topics presented. Feel free to submit your questions in the comment section, and we will take them and we'll speak them loud later. I'm also thrilled to announce the upcoming official visit of our president to Paris in March. His Excellency Gitanas Nausėda, alongside Mr. Sébastien Lecornu, the French Minister of the Armed Forces, equivalent to our Defense Ministry, will inaugurate the very first Paris Defense and Strategy Forum on March 13. And this momentous event will also feature a Lithuanian-French defense industry gathering, spotlighting the participation of our president, GICAT, which is the French Land Defense and Security Industry Association, and French Defense Innovation Agency. Before I give a floor to Antoine, I would like to welcome Antoine Sauvageau-Audet, the International Public Relations Manager at the INCYBER Forum. Antoine, it's a privilege to welcome you as the leading figure in our distinguished lineup of speakers. In your capacity as the International Public Relations Manager and Head of International Ecosystem in INCYBER Forum, you embody the spirit of global collaboration and leadership that our forum aspires to promote. Your exceptional journey, marked by significant role in international affairs and contribution to organizations like UNESCO and Export Quebec, Investment Quebec International, speaks volume of your expertise and the impact you've made across the borders. We are truly honored to have you inaugurate our series on enlightening talks. Today, you will shed light on the ambitious goals of the INCYBER Forum, outlining its comprehensive benefits while underscoring the vital importance of fostering international engagement and cooperation. Antoine, we eagerly anticipate your insights and are thrilled to give you the virtual stage. Welcome, and thank you for leading us off.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Daiva, and thanks to all the participants online also to the webinar. So my role here today will be to present an overview of the INCYBER Forum. So what are we? We are an organization that since 2003 are organizing the most influential European event, and every year we attract more than 20,000 visitors from 80 different countries, and we bring together 650 public and private exhibitors, entities, and academics, making it the largest gathering in the continent in the field of cybersecurity. And since 2022, we also have an American edition of the INCYBER Forum, which is organized in Montreal. And for its second edition, we had more than 5,000 participants, thus becoming the largest cybersecurity event in Canada and on the East Coast of the United States. So this prestigious event has welcomed renowned figures over the years, such as last year, for example, we had the Belgian Minister of Defense, Ludivine de Fonder, the Swedish Minister of Civil Protection, Carl Oskar, NATO Assistant Secretary General, James Apaturai. This year, we're going to have also the NATO CIO, 3 or 4 different ministers from Denmark, Luxembourg, Belgium, and probably also Canadian and Quebec ministers. We also have a lot of different directors of cybersecurity agencies all over the world, and most especially in Europe. So our forum has unique features. So our huge goal, let's say, it's that we try to bring together the entire cybersecurity and trusted digital ecosystem together. So when I say that, I'm talking about the end customers, the service providers, the solutions vendors, the consultants, law enforcement, police, government agencies, schools, universities. So the goal is to try to mix everybody together, let's say, to make to create, let's say, a common values about cybersecurity. So we have twofold of a mission. So we need and we try to meet the operational challenges of cybersecurity, as well as contribute to building a digital future in line with European interests and values. And since we have now also an event in North America, our goal is also to create bridges in between the two sides of the Atlantic. So our forum is both a trade show, so the classic show that you normally know, where you can try to find operational answers to your needs, but it's also a forum, just like in Greece, for sharing experiences and collective reflection about what is cybersecurity and how can we advance together to make the world a safer digital place. And it's also a summit to help build bridges in between continents. So this year you will find also a huge European pavilion that is going to be constituted of different institutions such as DG Connect, ENISA, ECCC, Europol, etc. There will also be a NATO pavilion with different entities inside of it. And you can also find different countries' pavilions, such as the Netherlands, the Switzerland, Luxembourg, Belgium, and also Spain. And it's okay if a country does not have a pavilion in our event. The main goal is to try to bring all the different countries in the world together with delegations. And these delegations are normally representing all the ecosystem of the country. So we try to make people come to our event, so the Forum INCYBER, with businesses, academics, and institutionals. So it's as representative of their ecosystem as possible. This year, you can also find Estonian delegation, Serbian delegation, Belgian delegation, Polish delegation, Denmark delegation, Italian delegation, Finland, Slovakia, Slovenia, Croatia, Chypre, Czechia, and a huge delegation from Spain also, such as led by INCYBER, the National Institute, and also a German delegation. So that's it for me. It's a huge overview. After the webinar, we're gonna send you more information about the highlights, all the different way you can participate to the event. What do you have to gain also by participating to the event? And yeah, that's it for me.
So maybe a little bit to add, thank you, Antoine, that we will be eager to organize the Lithuanian delegation together. The Embassy of Lithuania in France would help for you to participate and to understand how the forum is working and how you could take the best from this forum. Right, Antoine? So we will try to respond to your needs, or to visit the relevant and potential partners for you, or to attend to the different events and seminars. The cost is very little in participation as a visiting company. So it just, if I'm right, it's 50 euros. And after you can explore the later possibility to be with your company in the forum. So this may be for the next year, because now it's too short. It's at the end of March. So we can only propose to organize the visit to the forum for you, and to organize B2B meetings or respond to your other needs. Yeah. So feel free to write to us and we will help you. So we have one question which is coming from the participants. Are you interested in the application of blockchain in security in the forum? So
I can answer the question if you want to. So
yes, please.
I'm going to share something with you. It's going to be easier to explain. Here you go. So yes, we are interested in blockchain technology because, as you may know or not know, we have different events inside our event. So for 3 days, we have an event dedicated to cybersecurity issues in the industrial world. We also have an event called ID and KYC Forum, which is dedicated to digital identity, the Corinne to Forensics Conference. We also have an ethical hacking competition, which is the largest in Europe also. We have a day just for OSINT also, a trust and safety forum for the moderation of offensive and illegal content. We have Cyber Investor Days also for European investment and pitching startups. And related to blockchain, this year, there's a new side event, which is the Web3 Security Summit. And it's an event that is going to last one whole day, and it's dedicated only to blockchain protocols in all industries for integrity purposes. So there's going to be more than 15 and 20 different roundtables. Huge name in the field of blockchain technology from all over the world are coming to talk about this new technology. So I hope I answered your question.
Thank you. Maybe also a few words about other INCYBER forums. This is one in Europe. It's, I believe it's one of the most important events in cyber in Europe, but you're also organizing in Canada and US. Maybe just a few words to participants who are also interested in these markets, despite that we're here in France, in Europe, but maybe some Lithuanian companies are eager to expand the activities across the ocean.
Sure. So related to the forum in North America, we decided a couple of years ago to go there because we had a demand from the government of Canada itself. And we decided to create something in Montreal because it's a big hub in cybersecurity, but also artificial intelligence, and is becoming one of the more important cities when it comes to technologies and innovation also in North America. And the goal is to create links in between the two continents through our events. So our goal is to make it easier for a company, a European company, such for example from Lithuania, to access the North American market. And as you may know or not know, it's really easy to access the North America market through Canada. So if you have the intention to try to sell something in the US, for example, Canada is the first step for you before going southern in the continent. And in 2025, we're going to organize also the first edition of our event in San Antonio, Texas. And this event will be more concentrated on the south of the US and also America, so South America. And the goal will be to make bridges in between South America, south of Texas, south of the US, and also Canada, north of the US and Europe. And in 2026, we're also going to organize an event in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, for the Asian market. And so once you're inside our system, it's going to be pretty easy for you to, let's say, make connections all around the world and meet new partners, sell your stuff everywhere. And it's really our goal. It's to make bridges and to facilitate, let's say, the experience of a company that wants to export itself in other continents.
Thank you very much. So shall we move to another part of our seminar? So now I'm pleased now to turn our focus to Vincent Roux, a leader in the realms of cybersecurity and digital trust. Vincent brings to the table over 20 decades of invaluable experience, currently excelling his role as a partner general manager at the INCYBER Forum, North America and International. And this capacity, he plays an important role in orchestrating major international gatherings that spotlight the critically important areas of cybersecurity and digital trust. Moreover, as the president of Forward Global Canada, Vincent leads cybersecurity events, showcasing his leadership and commitment to advancing this critical field. Vincent, your journey is marked by a series of prominent positions, including, as I mentioned, managing partner, general manager, and CIO in INCYBER Forum. Your 20-year commitment to cybersecurity has been enriched by a comprehensive network of partners and experts. Your expertise is further solidified by your tenure as Director of Defense and Security at Soprasteria, a very important company in France and worldwide, and a decade dedicated to cyber warfare specialization at the DGA. It's a General Directorate of Armament, highlighting your profound understanding and expertise in this sector. As an active member of Hexa Trust, you are deeply integrated in a premier network dedicated to fostering European excellence in cybersecurity, trusted cloud, and digital workplace solutions. Your involvement underscores your dedication to collaborative innovation and the promotion of French and European leadership in cybersecurity. Vincent, you are set to share insights into French cybersecurity ecosystem, unveiling untapped synergies and opportunities available to Lithuanian enterprises. Vincent, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much for this incredible portrait. I will try to do my best to be at the right level and give you a portrait also of the cybersecurity ecosystem. The cybersecurity in France is quite rich and diverse. It's the second ecosystem by size in Europe, in continental Europe, after the German one. And we encompass institutional actors, of course, private companies, research institutions, as well as professional associations that are very important to reach those customers you want to reach in France. So here's an overview. First of all, the first and major institutional actor, which is the ANSSI. The ANSSI is the National Information Security Agency of France. It is, in fact, the national authority for cybersecurity and cyber defense. The ANSSI plays a key role in coordinating responses to cybersecurity incidents, implementing security policies for state information systems and critical infrastructures, raising awareness among businesses and the general public, and qualifying technological solutions that has to be implemented in critical infrastructure architecture. So if you want to qualify one of your Lithuanian solutions to implement them in critical infrastructure in France, it's possible, and you have to go through the ANSSI processes. We can help if you need some contacts. Second institutional actor, very important, the Ministry of Interior. Of course, through several services, the Ministry of Interior, including the National Gendarmerie, which is kind of a military police in France, and the police forces, they simply combat cybercrime. So they are quite numerous, around 5,000 people, 4,000 people in France combating cybercrime daily. And the third is the Ministry of Armed Forces, equivalent of your Ministry of Defense, which participates in the country's cyber defense through cybersecurity initiative, offensive and defensive. The Ministry of Defense is the only body who is allowed to conduct offensive action in France through rules of engagement of war, of course, as everybody does now in this complex world. Then the enterprises and startups. The French private cyber sector is mainly teamed with few major big tech companies, like Thales, for example, but mainly medium companies and a lot of innovative startups. These startups and medium companies are offering a wide range of solutions and services, including endpoints, network protection, data protection, threat detection, incident response, training, and so on. We cover nearly every aspects of cybersecurity globally. Nevertheless, the biggest companies in France in tech are mostly integrators and services companies like Capgemini, Atos, Soprasteria, OnePoint, and so on. So you see there are places for technological companies, for sure, in France, especially European, because in France, we have the sense of sovereignty, of European sovereignty, and we are very open to European technologies coming in our country, even if, as usual, the American technologies are representing nearly the half of the technologies we can find in the architectures. On educational and research institution, we have numerous French universities and engineering schools to offer specialized cybersecurity courses and programs. But we miss a lot of people. We estimate that we miss around 15,000 people to cover the needs of the cybersecurity jobs in France globally. Then very important to know, if you come to France, is the professional associations and organizations. They are the best way to meet end users, customers, and so on in the field of cybersecurity and information systems. And the three main ones are the CESIN, CESIN, it's the Club of Information Security and Digital Experts in France. It gathers around 1,000 CISOs. So it's for Chief Information Security Officers only. Mostly coming from the biggest French companies. So it's very important to know them, to reach them. They are very present in our events in Europe with a dedicated place to meet all those CISOs and so on. So if you come in our event, you will see those people, which are, of course, very important because they are the principal buyers of technological solutions and services. The second one is the CLUSIF, CLUSIF, French Information Security Club, roughly. It is a mixed association, a mixed half-half end users and cybersecurity companies. Quite interesting also with quite a numerous number of, a high number of CISOs, but maybe less important than CESIN in terms of number of CISOs and importance of the CISOs and the size of the companies and so on. The third I wanted to mention is the CIGREF, CIGREF, Club informatique des grandes entreprises françaises. It is dedicated to CIOs. So if you are more in cloud technologies or, let's say, information technologies globally, it's very important to meet them. It's a small association in terms of number of people, but very heavy in terms of influence because you have 150 biggest CIOs of the biggest companies in France. But as in every country in Europe, the French ecosystem is mainly composed of small and medium businesses. As you may know, it's 80% of the French business ecosystem globally. So you have to reach them also. And those companies are very open to, let's say, also SMEs technologies, you know. So it is an opportunity clearly in France. The overall market in terms of cybersecurity, the overall cybersecurity market in France is around 10 to 11 billion of euros a year globally. It's the 2022 figures. I don't have the 2023. It will arrive soon, but it's increasing year after year. And the split of this market is half between cyber products and software, half, let's say 5 billions, roughly speaking, and the other half is services, also 5 billions, roughly speaking. 25 companies are representing 75% of the turnover, especially in services. Is the big techs I mentioned, the Capgemini, Soprasteria, Thales, Orange, and so on. And 40% of the turnover generated by foreign companies, so outside France. So you see the market is quite open to foreign companies. But my advice is to make you know, especially if you are editor of technological solution, make you know by our agency, the ANSI. It's very important. You have to be referenced and your product has to be known by them. It's far easier to reach the French market, especially the big companies. So that's it. If you have questions, don't hesitate, even on the Canadian market, because I pretty well know the Canadian market also. So if you want information on this market, just tell me. We are pretty happy also with Antoine to give you our emails and contacts and so on if you want further details on the French or the Canadian market. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vincent. So it's very interesting what you mentioned, and you mentioned these three important business networks. So if I understand, you could help us to get in the contact with them, and also they would be present during INCYBER Forum in Lille at the end of March. So I think it's a very good opportunity for our companies to link with them. Another thing I would like that you tell us a little bit about the changing environment in cybersecurity in France, because now you mentioned about this, these big numbers, 10, 11 billion euros, and it was not the case 5 years ago. And with the new government strategy, the cybersecurity, it's getting much and much important. The investments in startups, in cybersecurity solutions businesses are growing exponentially. So it's really the changing environment. And I think it's a very, very good time for Lithuanian companies to step in, because I think now the lot of investment funds are looking to invest in the innovative companies in cybersecurity. Am I right? Can you a little bit develop further?
Yes, for sure. There are several factors, in fact, but one of the main one is also Europe, because all those regulations, you may know, NIS2, the Digital Service Act, Digital Market Act, and so on, are studied to promote, in a way, the European market globally. So we are developing technologies, services, and so on to cope with all those regulations. In France, we have been the first in Europe to impose a strong regulation on cybersecurity, and it was 7 years ago with the military programmative law. And this law obliged critical infrastructure companies to put cybersecurity qualified systems within their architecture. And of course, it raised a lot the level of cybersecurity of those companies in banking, energy, and so on, you know. But all those companies has a lot of subcontractors that have been obliged also to follow the movement. So globally, we have quite a good level of protection when we speak about those critical infrastructure companies, essential services, and so on. The problem is this with the others, you know, and the other domains are not so well covered. It will be done thanks to NIS2 directive in Europe with the essential services that covers more than 200 businesses. So it will rise again the level of cybersecurity readiness of the companies. So there is for sure an opportunity because as I mentioned, we are open to technologies coming from Europe a lot, but also from the US and so on. But European tech, we usually like it a lot. I think another good idea would be to team up with French companies also. And within our events, you can meet a lot of potential partners to do so. Big ones like Orange, Thales, Capgemini, Soprasteria, OnePoint, or whoever, but also smaller companies that can be complementary in terms of tech solutions, cloud solutions, AI technologies, pure cyber technologies, and so on. So the market is rising. You are more than welcome. Thanks to our UK friends that are now out of Europe, a lot of investments are coming to France. So it's quite good for us. Unfortunately, not so for UK people, but that's life. So you are more than welcome here.
Thank you very much. You mentioned that it's very much important to be referenced at ANSSI. This is the agency which is equivalent to our National Cybersecurity Center. It's a government institution. So what would be your advice? How Lithuanian companies could be referenced in ANSSI?
In fact, it is important if you want to sell to essential services businesses, bank, energy, and so on. If you want to sell to other companies, SMBs, and so on, you don't need to be referenced. But it can be a good marketing action to be referenced in any case. To be referenced, it is very easy on their website. You can find nearly every information. You can also meet them in their big booth in our event. They will be present, the ANSSI, as well as the European institution like ENISA. If your product is recognized as confident product, I don't know a better word for that. In Europe now, there is a new European regulation that allows this product to be also automatically referenced in France. And the ENISA will showcase this new frame. It's very important because now, if you are, for example, referenced in Germany or in Austria or in your country with your national authority, you will be able to be also recognized with the list of confident products in France. So it's a new regulation that will be explained by some of our ENISA friends. So the ENISA, for those who don't know, it's the European Agency for Cybersecurity based in Greece. And it's quite of a revolution because now all those European products will be in our catalog also more easily. So if you have a CSPN, for example, which is a cybersecurity global qualification of quality in Lithuania, you can come in France and be automatically recognized also as a good product. So it's very important. But the best is to come and meet them in our event, clearly.
Thank you very much. We have a few questions here, I see. So I will read them out. So in the fight against cyber threats like phishing attacks, how crucial is the enhanced collaboration between hosting providers, DNS operators, and other technical infrastructure service providers. Who would like to answer, Vincent?
Yes, I can. I can. One of the major themes of our event is cooperation, because internet has no borders. Few countries try to put borders in the internet, like China, Russia, or Iran, but in our continent, we don't. And of course, all those actions has to be conducted in relationship with all the countries, the European countries and abroad, our American friends, and nearly everybody in the world, also in Africa and so on, because all those actions can come also from the country. So we are inviting, for example, Europol or Interpol alongside with the FBI, DHS in the US, and so on. Trust me, Europol is one of the best agencies that exist in terms of countering cybercrime. And in Europol, if you visit them in The Hague or the other premises, you will see people coming from every European country. And it's just crazy to see how good they work together. So in fact, we are already cooperating to fight against cyber attacks, and not only phishing attacks, which is one of the ways to enter a system, but also ransomware and so on.
Okay, thank you. We have another question, which I think you covered a little bit, but I will ask anyway again. Can Lithuanian companies emerge as developers of cybersecurity solutions for French enterprises? So,
can you repeat the first part of the question?
Can Lithuanian companies emerge as developers of cybersecurity?
Okay, a Lithuanian. Okay. Yes, of course. Of course, we have no, as far as I know, it's subjective, because it's a feeling, because there are no law limitation for Lithuanian company to enter the French market. Not at all, because our market is ruled by the European market, which is the hat of every European countries. So there are no limitation at all, and you can put your solution in France. For example, there are a big Slovak companies that is called EZ, who is one of the biggest companies present in France, and they are from Slovakia. So why not Lithuania? It's not a problem at all. Not at all. It's just a question of daring to do it. You have to dare to go. Because I'm pretty sure, I don't know your solution, but I would like to know. But I'm pretty sure they are good. So you are more than welcome.
Thank you very much for this encouragement. I just can echo your encouragement for Lithuanian companies. And we already had our first meetup between the Lithuanian cybersecurity companies and French cybersecurity companies on the 1st of December at the Campus INCYBER, which is a very interesting and interesting concept in France that gathers all the ecosystem of cyber security players in France. And I think it was first introduction of our ecosystem to France and to learn a bit about your ecosystem. We encourage to continue this cooperation, knowing each other, and I think your forum is the best platform to do so.
Thank you very much.
Following Vincent, now our attention shifts to Sarah Jane Melo, an esteemed member of the Cybersecurity Advisory Network and a proud alumna of the Cybersecurity for Business Leaders program at the University of Oxford Said Business School. Sarah Jane, your expertise in consulting, particularly within the realms of public affairs and strategic communications for tech-driven public-private partnerships, has been important in navigating the complexities of internet governance and cybersecurity challenges. Your work enhancing cyber resilience and facilitating meaningful dialogue between cybersecurity ecosystems and CISO and CIO communities. This dialogue focuses on critical areas such as strategic autonomy, cyber resilience, trusted cloud, threat detection and incident response, and the support of high potential startups and scale-ups. Sarah Jane, you are posed to share your invaluable insights into the bilateral cooperation in cybersecurity between France and the Netherlands, shedding light on the success and learning points from these collaborative efforts. Your perspective promises to enrich our understanding of international cooperation in cybersecurity, illustrating the power of shared knowledge and joint initiatives in advancing our collective security posture. So, Sarah Jane.
Thank you, Daira, and good morning, Paris. Good morning, Vilnius, live from Amsterdam. And dear participants, esteemed colleagues, Vincent and Antoine, it's my pleasure to address Lithuanian friends this morning, especially because we're talking about all of Europe's strength, and Lithuania, we know also with the Vilnius TV tower, but also a bit like the Netherlands, you have the biggest hosting capacity in the EU. Lithuania also has the fastest Wi-Fi in the world, if I'm not mistaken. So this is also very good about the digital infrastructure, and why also, the FIC is the place to be as Europe's prime cybersecurity event. So just to give you a bit of history, and in 2019 and 2020, we had some first pioneers and movers and shakers of the Dutch cybersecurity ecosystem who started attending FIC. So I can name a few, like the Global Forum on the cyber expertise, but also Amsterdam-based Sky Team, but TNO, one of the biggest research centers, DINL, which is a Dutch infrastructure for all of the Netherlands. And they're starting to come, but bigger and bigger over the years. And as the FIC grew, they said, we need to really be speak with one voice and be a proper delegation. And that's how in 2020 we had talk with the NCSC, so the counterpart of the Lithuanian NCSC, and Hans de Vries, the director of the NCSC. And he said in 2021, we want to come to FIC, but as a one delegation. I also say a one delegation because there's also a sister event in the Netherlands called the One Conference, which is co-organized by the NCSC, the Municipality of The Hague, City of Peace and Justice, and also the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Climate Policy. So for them, the main objectives to attend was, of course, as we make, tiny steps towards not only a proper European culture of cybersecurity, towards a European cybersecurity market, what also for the Ministry of Economic Affairs was to bring some, startups, scale-ups, but also to do business. It was also to promote, and I insist on this word, best-in-class expertise and showcase best practices from the Netherlands. And also with the more political summit to address and advance some of the key issues Europe faces, and especially as we discussed when it comes to cyber threats. So that's how in 2021 the One Conference and the FIC struck a unique partnership and MOUs. They signed an MOU, and now every year we have very big delegation in quantity, but also in quality. And we will have a Dutch pavilion. So for the participants of Lithuania who will attend FIC, please feel free to come. The opening of the Dutch pavilion will be on the 26th of March at noon. So please free to attend. There will be some refreshments, and also it's good to speak with the Dutch colleagues. And so yes, and over the years we've discussed, we have 12 speakers from the Netherlands for this edition. And everybody identified fascinating topics where, you know, both France and the Netherlands are at the forefront of innovation. So, for instance, you know, it came out that post-quantum cryptography and preparedness was a shared issue for both the Netherlands and France. So they decided to make a duplex. So what I want to stress with that, and to echo what Vincent and Antoine said, that we can also make really a tailor-made program for, you know, Lithuanian delegates. So it reflects your needs, but also really where we can foster synergies, you know, among cyber leaders, but also foster rapprochement as a way forward. Another example that might be relevant to the companies that will attend FIC is, for instance, we had a French company, a French champion actually on encryption, who said, oh, we really want to, you know, penetrate the Dutch market, but we don't really know how and why. And the Dutch business culture is so different from the French. So actually, that's how, you know, with the FIC, they spoke to some of the key Dutch players. And over the years, they really knew how to better, you know, really defend and promote their unique product. And now, since last year, they are certified, you know, by the NBV, the Dutch, you know, the equivalent is the intelligence service. They have, you know, they're NATO approved, but they also have this NBV, which will be very relevant to them to go forward and start deploying in the Netherlands. So little things like that, because as we said, and as Antoine and Vincent mentioned, it is a cybersecurity conference, but it's also a conference about digital trust. And trust is really a key word when we come, you know, and FIC is really a place where you meet not only like-minded individual in terms of cyber leaders, but where you can meet your next trusted business partner, or your next trusted, you know, also institutional or counterpart. But all of a sudden you say, oh, actually, you know, in Vilnius, we will be organizing this. It would make sense to invite, you know, other Europeans to discuss this particular topic. And you probably don't need FIC for that too, but you can actually have FIC to also, you know, help you find really the most specialized person on this or this topic. So I think that's very good, and it's a way for rapprochement, and really the, you know, the numbers speaks for themselves. And for instance, this year among the Dutch delegation, we will have the head of security strategy and data from INRE, from the bank, who will talk about cybersecurity in the era of AI. But we will also have, and that is also very relevant to our Lithuanian friends when we were addressing cyber threats, we'll also have His Excellency Ambassador Ernst Norman, Ambassador at Large for Cyber Affairs, to discuss what are the conditions of digital peace after cyber war, to project ourselves a bit. So those are among, you know, the very good quality speakers we will have, but we will also have people from the Dutch police. We will also have people from the NCSC, and from the Ministry of Economic Affairs. So that's also if, you know, Lithuanian companies want to make business in the Netherlands, you can also come to the Dutch pavilion at FIEC, and that's another good way to enhance your network. And something also that is good to mention, earlier Vincent talked about the CISO communities, and so also with Cézanne, but also along the years, the French and the Dutch CISO have really got to know each other more, and FIEC has also provided platforms for really very good talks. So I think about the CISO of the Port of Rotterdam, for instance, Europe #1 port. But I think about when we talk about critical infrastructure, he will also be in our delegation. You know, the CISO of the Dutch railways, who's also from the co-chair of the European ISAC. So all those little things where we try to advance cyber resilience through cyber dialogue, and really with a lot of enthusiasm from the lab bench, because you have also researchers with the companies, to the boardroom. So I think that's very good, and to really promote resilience in the face of insecurity and the dynamic threat landscape.
So, thank you, Sarah. So, Jane, you are truly the ambassador of Forum INCYBER, and also ambassador for your Netherlands cyber ecosystem. So it was very interesting to hear how you see as a client this forum, and I think you convinced us that it's the place to be if you want to be a player in the European market. So my question would be, can we have this European offer of cybersecurity solutions available on the shelves, how the Americans does, and what we need to do to have this offer available and visible?
Yes, well, what we said, I mean, we have different things. I know in the Netherlands, one of the main issues was also not to have scale-ups leave Europe once they've really reached, you know, critical mass and everything, and that's a big issue. And actually, it's at FIEC that it became really when the then DG of the Ministry of Economic Affairs at FIEC met also another Dutch company, but also an investor, who said, why was Cybersprint bought by Darktrace? Cybersprint was really a promising scale-up from the Netherlands, and then it was bought, and why couldn't we keep it in Europe? And that's when that was in 2022. Actually, you know, the Ministry of Economic Affairs said, we want a memo on this. And maybe, you know, as Vincent mentioned, the word sovereignty earlier, and especially since Brexit, the Dutch said, okay, we still love our transatlantic friends, but we need to think also a bit more about how we can position, you know, our unique European strength. And plus, a lot of those companies, especially the people working for them, didn't necessarily want a big move to the US. You know, they were like, we prefer the quality of life in Europe, so we would like to stay in Europe. So those are, but you know, we're starting to have this, and maybe, who knows, you know, maybe there will be one day EU, you know, EU, what is it, by EU First Act or something. We will, I don't know, but I think it's good to know that, you know, with those little steps and this ongoing cooperation, we have many champions on both sides that are getting certified. So proper recognition also helps with the market and also international, developments and expansion. So I think, but this is a very good question, and I think it almost would need a proper panel maybe for FIC 2025 about how do we make this happen, about this European cybersecurity market in the making.
Thank you very much, Sarah. So we have a few more questions. I will read them out again. Can a Lithuanian company be a developer of the cybersecurity products while not having physical presence in France? Maybe this is to Vincent.
Yes, I can answer this one if you want. Of course you can, even if it's always better to have a physical presence, at least of sales reps, but can be shared by other companies, but at least a French salesman is very important. It's like when you want to sell in Germany, you have to adapt your marketing content in German. In France, it's the same. It's very hard to sell your product if you don't have the marketing and sales brochures and so on in French, and a good French. It's very important. So you have to be advised on that. We can help to find people if you need. It's clear. After that, if all your back office and all the engineers and so on stay in Lithuania, it's not at all a problem. But you have to have a sales rep, I think, in France, a Frenchman, and French marketing. Some customers are not, they all speak English, let's say, but not so good sometimes. We are French, so it's better to have the marketing in French, clearly.
And I think Sarah mentioned the trust, so it's also important to build this trust and probably to be more present in the country with which you want to work.
Yeah.
So we have one more question. How effectively have the European Union and the United Nations been in identifying and detaining individuals or groups responsible for cyber attacks? Who could answer this question?
I can also, but it's related to the latest, but one of the other question. For example, Rival or Logbit or groups like that have been identified by international cooperations already. In our events, we have testimony of Europol or FBI or French gendarmerie with the Dutch, so quite often with the Dutch. And I don't say that because Sarah Jane is there, but they are very good also through Europol or the Dutch police. So the cooperation is already there, and we need cooperation. For example, Rival was a Ukrainian group. It was arrested 3 years ago in Ukraine because we had an arrangement with our Ukrainian friends. Of course, if those groups are in Russia or in other countries like this, it's more complex to arrest them because they can be protected by their own government. But we do our best, and cooperation, international cooperation, is in any case mandatory to identify, then to arrest them. But identifying a group is very hard if it is the question. Because you can be, I know few people that are not Russian at all that are coding their malwares in Russian, you know? So sometimes the language is not enough. You can have decoys, you can have lures. It's very complex, the attribution. And it's more geopolitical than others, in fact. And some of the groups are composed of people coming from a lot of different countries. They don't even know each other physically sometimes. So, you know, attribution, it's a complex topic. We have several panels in our events on that, and you are more than welcome to listen to it.
As we touch upon a little bit geopolitical issues here, so I would like to ask Vincent, maybe you could share a little bit your experience being in In the forum on cybersecurity in Kiev recently, 2 weeks ago, you was called by organizers to be part of this event. Could you please share a bit experience
Yes,
about the forum?
we have a mandate, a pro bono mandate, in fact, to help the organizers, the Ukrainian organizers, to bring some international delegates. And it was quite a success because we had the honor of the presence of Joan Lepassard, for example, who is the head of cybersecurity in Europe, the head of the ENISA. We had Jen Easterly, who is the head of cybersecurity in the US, and the ambassador at large, Nathaniel Fick, for cybersecurity in the US also. We had 1,000 people coming, very VIP. It was quite impressive. A mix European and US to assure Ukraine that we are present behind them because they need technologies, they need tools, they need licenses of softwares and so on, more than money enough. Clearly, they need tools, and we are quite well organized to do that, and they are very. What is impressive there is the resiliency of the country. In fact, when I was in the hotel, they had a big Russian attacks, 25 missiles and bombs and so on the city. So we had an alert. So everybody came down to the bunker and so on at 5 o'clock in the morning, just before the event. But at 8 o'clock, the event began with no problem at all. It wasn't cancelled. Everybody was present and discussed and so on. So despite all those aggression by Russia and whatever, the life is continuing over there. We had nice moments, beers, laughs, and so on, which is the symbol of true resiliency of this country that cannot be defeated.
Thank you very much for sharing about this. Can we make a little round to sum up the meeting? Maybe we start with Antoine.
Yeah, sure. So as you heard from myself and my colleagues, I think you can now understand that any topics related to cybersecurity or digital trust is going to be at the INCYBER Forum. And whatever you need, your needs, or whoever you need to meet, they will also be in our event. So if you ever want to broaden your knowledge about AI, trust and safety, critical infrastructure, cybersecurity, digital trust, protection of children on the internet, you can come to our event. If you want to meet a French salesman for your company, you can also come to the event. If you want to meet an integrator or a partner in which you want to make affairs with, you can also come to our event. So as you can see, we are trying to be the main event in Europe resembling all of the ecosystem. So if there is Lithuanian friends, it will be an even better event. So that's it.
Thank you, Vincent. Few words.
Yes, I will be quick because everything has been said. You are more than welcome. Part of Europe and our European friends, I'm pretty sure you have technology to showcase. What I can add also is that for the startups, if some startups are listening to us, for example, technological startup, each year we have it's not a competition, it's a prize for the best European startups. And it's open to all European startups, not only a French one. For example, last year, a German one won the prize. The year before, it was a startup from Switzerland. So Lithuanian technologies are not only welcome, but they can be highlighted by those initiatives, and especially this startup prize, which is free of charge. It's just a file to answer and then a pitch to conduct in front of our European jury. So you can not only are welcome, you can take an active part in our forum.
Thank you. Few words to sum up for Sarah Jane.
Thank you. And no, I was very enthused by the quality of the discussion. And again, when you are at FIC, please know that you're more than welcome to attend the opening of the Dutch Pavilion booth, which will take place on the 26th at noon. So you can have a beer, a non-alcoholic beer, you know, with the Dutch, or a drink. And actually, to echo what Vincent just said, it's a win-win because it's just opposite the startup pavilion. So, you know, that's where the Dutch pavilion will be located. So quite strategic. And if you want to reach out, please do. And yes, I will be at FIC all 3 days. And you can also come to the Dutch pavilion and say, I know Sarah. And or there will probably be my counterpart, Brian, from the Ministry of Economic Affairs. So feel free as European friends to come here. And no, it will be very, very good. And as you know, we discussed the cyber threats, the cyber crime defenders will all be at FIC. So I think this is also very good. Thank you.
Thank you. So as we conclude today's seminar, I want to express my thanks to our speakers, Antoine, Vincent, Sarah, Jane, for the invaluable insights, and to all of you who participated in these exchanges. Your engagement has been important in illuminating the path towards stronger international cybersecurity cooperation. The insights shared today highlight the critical need for collaboration, innovation, and shared strategies in facing cybersecurity challenges. The potential for Lithuanian companies to engage deeply within the global security ecosystem is clear, and the opportunities for growth and partnership are abundant. Looking ahead for a forum in cyber at the end of March. So we wait you 26th of March in Lille, and the continued dialogue between our nations. Let us keep the conversation and collaboration sparked today moving forward. Your questions and interaction today have laid the groundwork for future initiatives and partnerships. Thank you once again for joining us. Your involvement today has been instrumental in making this seminar a success, and we look forward to seeing you at future events and continuing our journey towards a safer digital world together. Thank you very much.